What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jynesis, back with another video on astrology. Before we get into it, I'm gonna just start this video off by saying peace and grand rising to the gods and goddesses of planet Kai. Peace to all the high vibrational beings on planet Kai. Peace to the elderly, the ancestors, the peers, the youth, crystal babies, star seeds, the animals, the plant life. Anyone who wants to grow today, I sing high vibrations and I sing that support. We're gonna get right into it. So today is Sunday once again. I did the Leo video a week ago. Now we're talking about the sun, which is ruled by Leo, or it rules Leo, however you look at it. And we're going to be talking about the characteristics of the sun and a little bit more metaphysical information on the sun than just astrology, because a lot of astrologers on YouTube, I see they just talk about the astrology side of the sun, but you have to also talk about the metaphysical properties and attributes of the sun so that people can get a more tangible understanding of what they can do with the sun, because you can also, there's a thing called sun magic, just like moon magic. It's not as complex as moon magic, because it's more it's meant to manifest, versus the moon is meant for a whole different reason. We're going to get into that in the moon video, but today we're going to be talking about the sun. So start off, the element of the sun is obviously fire. It's ruled by Leo, and it's the brightest star in the sky. It's the brightest star in the damn cosmos. Not in the cosmos as far as a sun, but our sun is the brightest star in our solar system. It's always going to be illuminating. It's very luminescent. It's a very luminescent celestial body of energy, and even when you look at the sun, it kind of like brightens up. You know, when you give the sun your energy, you're giving it attention, just like how Leo likes giving attention. You give it, the more you give it attention, the more you're feeding whatever the fuck Leo's doing. He's going to keep going. Same thing with the sun. The more you communicate with the sun, the more you give it energy, the more it's going to shine brighter, and it might get a little hotter. You feel me? That's just the gamma radiation. Just your body's just opening up even more of that radiation because you're opening up to the sun. And you know, one thing about the sun when it comes to astrology is you got to understand that that's your ego. So whenever people be like, oh, I'm a Sagittarius, or I'm a Gemini, or I'm a Taurus, whatever, that's just one piece of your chart that you're acknowledging. So you're always, and one thing I'll notice about how they taught us astrology and horoscopes and all this love bullshit is they always focus on the sun signs, and they always focus on the ego. They never focus on the deeper and depths of astrology. They always focus on getting you to pay attention to your ego, and that's where a lot of people go wrong in situations. They think they know themselves, and so you got someone like me who come across them and just be like, what's your moon sign? They be like, nigga, a what sign? And then boom, now they done learned a whole different aspect of themselves that they never paid attention to. It's always there, but it's all about the awareness that you have of these signs. And that's the way it goes with anything in astrology. It's all about the awareness, because you have all these energies. It's just how aware are you of these energies. And the sun represents that awareness. It shines and it shows you and it illuminates what you need to see. That's why whenever you sun gaze, you get downloads. They show you what's important to you, or they give you what you ever desire, because sun plays into that desiring energy. And if you actually communicate, sun gaze, and actually meditate on the sun, and then actually like do sun meditation, you can get a lot of downloads. Like I've gotten plenty of downloads later on in my dreams based upon my chart setup and how I receive my downloads, because we all receive downloads differently, but the sun can definitely cultivate that energy within you and open up channels to certain energies that can give you information. Also, damn, I just lost it. Fuck. But yeah, the sun can give you a lot of information when you sun gaze, so make sure you do that a lot. The sun is also what your main focus is in your reality. So if you're like a Virgo, you're going to be focused on analytical thinking, structure, you know, sticking to a routine, you know, taking care of yourself and others, and being kind of a critical thinker in your reality. Versus a sun in Capricorn is more going to be focused on status, making sure that their structure and foundation is built, and it's actually building and elevating, and they're actually, you know, achieving goals and tapping into that mystical side of themselves to manifest into this reality. But yeah, the sun sign is very important to understand, but don't just leave it at sun sign. Get accustomed to that energy, because the energies can also be in the house, and the house plays a whole role that the sun is placed in, because you can have a sun sign placed in a house that's for a different sign, and those energies are important to understand from the original ruler of the house, to the energies that's placed in the house, to the planets that's placed in the house, interacting with those energies and the ruler of the house, or the archetype of that house. But yeah, man, the sun, you know, a lot of people with like strong sun aspects, they're a lot of them themselves are shown. A lot of them, their personality will be shown. They'll show a lot of different parts of themselves to the world versus like less aspects of the sun. Or you might see a lot of shit, or you might do a lot of shit in the world that people see you doing, and it's just different sides to you. Like, because the sun also shows, like, you know, what you do in this reality. You know, it's not how you do it like Mars, is what you do, what you seek to do. It's their focus on your reality. You know what I'm saying? The sun's all about awareness, like I said. So it's like, if you're aware of these energies within you, if you're aware of the sun's luminescence, you can actually use that energy to manifest, because the sun's all about manifestation. The sun manifests things for you. You know, the sun, you can use sun magic to basically manifest anything in reality based upon communication and just sun gazing, just using certain vibration tones and affirmations toward the sun that align you with that energy. And if you understand the energies that's in, because it always goes through a transit. These planets go through a transit, which basically means they're always moving through another sign, regardless of what your chart setup is. It's never going to be in that same exact sign every time. Or, you know, like most of the generational planets are not going to be in the same sign as the natal chart setup, unless it's well, I wouldn't consider Saturn a fucking generational planet. So yeah, they're not really going to be realigned like the planet Saturn up to the sun. You know what I'm saying? From Uranus on back, or from Uranus on back to Pluto, is really generational. So they move slower, is what I'm saying. So they're not going to be, you know, returning to their original natal sign that it was placed in at your birth, because they move slower. They're like, some of the signs, yeah, because you know, throughout life, you know, once if you live a long life, then yeah, you know what I'm saying, you'll have those returns. But it's not too often that they do return, because of how long it takes for them to get through each sign. But yeah, the sun is a very powerful energy within the cosmos. So to break it down metaphysically, I like to compare it to a 3D printer and how it manifests us into this reality, the gods and goddesses specifically. So think about it like this: the 3D printer itself will be the sun itself. The information that feeds the 3D printer, like the subject to print, it would be the cosmos. You know, that would be the computer. You know, the cosmos, the alignments of the stars, the alignments of the planets and whatnot, and you know, just all the aspects that are going on in the cosmos gets downloaded to the sun, or through the sun, and then it gets casted onto this planet, which is all about manifesting. You come here to manifest, and the sun is the assister of manifesting, so it manifests whatever you deem to put out. So for an example, whenever you're being conceived, all that energy coming from the cosmos, straight from the cosmos, going all the way down to the womb, then starts the process of 3D printing that baby, that being. And you know, it goes through 9 cycles, 9 months, aka 9 cycles, until it gets to completion, and then the baby's born. The material that the cosmic 3D printer uses, or the sun, is carbon, which would be the neuromelanin that we all contain, or the melanin that we contain. That would be the material that is being used, carbon. And specifically, this type of carbon is basically dark matter energy condensed into, is light basically condensed, is condensed at its densest form, and that's why it's earthly, that's why it's physical. When it's in a higher vibration, it'll look like this, it'll look like that. That's what it looks like at its highest form. That's what it looks like at its lowest form. That's why we can sit here in the sun all day, and even, like, look at me, when I sit here, my skin just illuminates. If I can catch a good angle, it glows. You know what I'm saying? That's because of the way the sun shines. Apply that to your purpose now. When you manifest things into your reality, you have to have a purpose behind what you're manifesting. Otherwise, you're not going to really manifest too many things that are for you. Everything's for you, but you can manifest things against you as well, because if you're not out working with these energies, the sun can't really do what it has to do because, like I said, it's only one piece to the whole puzzle of your chart. The sun is just what puts out all the other energies from the other planets and how the aspects are. That's just the, like I said, the information comes from your chart and then it goes through your sun sign, and however it goes through your sun sign is how it manifests into this 3D realm. So when you look at your sun sign, think about it in that manner, or in a manner of manifesting your destiny, because you already have it lined up. You already chose it as a soul. You just forgot. And this is what they give us as like a reference to how and why we got here, where we came from or where we're going. That's what the North Node and South Node represent. And we'll talk about that as well. But yeah, the sun is very, very important to understand on a higher level, because a lot of people only see it as just one sign, the only sign that they are. No, it's not just the fucking sun sign, and it's not the only sign that you have. But it's important to know what your sun sign is, because a lot of people get accustomed to learning their sun signs, and then they just stick there and kind of get accustomed to the other signs. Me, I invert that. Like, I inverted that. I'm not too accustomed to my sun sign, even though I am my sun sign. That's a part of me. I just don't focus on the energy because there's other energies that are playing out, other aspects that are playing out that are conflicting with my sun sign. So I can't just focus on the sun sign. But yeah, this video is not going to really be that long because the sun's pretty easy to explain. I just wanted to give the the metaphysical aspects of the sun, because I forgot to mention, the light that comes from the sun is photon energy. I was supposed to say that was what fucking came to my mind, but it left because I just, my mind just, I'm an Aquarius, bro. This shit just keeps going. But photon energy, that's how we manifest, or that's how we get things to present itself into this reality, through the photon energy of the sun. So once it's completed, the photon energy of the sun reveals it in your reality, because everything's already here within yourself, and that'll be the moon energy. Bringing it out of you, revealing it, bring it to the forefront will be the sun, because that's what the sun does. It shines and illuminates. That's why when the sun is covered, it's like your spirit and soul is kind of hindered. It ain't gonna stop you from being successful wherever the fuck you're trying to manifest, but it's like you don't feel as joyful as like how the sun is now. Like the sun is beaming on me right now, like, and I'm fucking with you, feel me? And if you know how to wield the power of the sun, you basically can manifest anything. You can get put in positions easily. People recognize you for who you truly are. You'll just gain more attraction, because the sun is also magnetic. It's a magnetic ball of light. So that's why it's easy for us to look at the sun and actually want to be around. Fuck that. That's the reason why we want to be outside when the sun is outside, because it's attracting our inner suns to it. It's a magnetic thing, you know what I'm saying? We have suns within our solar plexus that's just as powerful as the sun that's sitting up in our skies, orbiting this whole entire realm. The only problem is that they dumb down our capabilities of tapping into that energy to the point where we don't think it's no more than just a solar plexus. No, this is a whole entire ball of energy that gets you going. This is what makes you make decisions. This is what has you put one foot in front of the other. The other chakras is used for other things, but when it comes to that solar plexus energy, that sun energy, that's what gets the fucking feet moving, because that's the battery of our body, and that's the battery of our light body as well. But yeah, hope I really touched on the sun as briefly and as in depth at the same time as possible, because I don't want to not go as deep as I can, because a lot of people know a lot about the sun when they're into astrology, but when it comes to the metaphysical aspect of the sun, you got to really tap into that side of things, because astrology is metaphysics, but when I say metaphysics, I mean the deeper side of metaphysics of what you can do with this, because it's also like you can manipulate or take advantage of the energies to benefit yourself and others if you know these things about the sun, or if you have this information on the sun, because it's just basic information that you already know. It's just once it's brought to the consciousness, the sun can illuminate it, because the sun is also on the conscious side of the brain. It's the conscious side of things, the logical side of things, is what's practical as far as what you can see, what you can feel, not what you can't see and feel, or what you can see and not feel. You feel me? Because I don't want to get too deep into the elements, but the element of fire is all about feeling and seeing. When you see a fire, you can feel that bitch within you, and you can feel it actually touch like the heat, touching your body. The same thing when it comes to, your chart. You know, when you're actually really channeling in that energy, you're spiraling and touching everything you possibly can as far as light, information, experiences, manifestations, everything. The sun is all about touching everything. That's why it's in a spherical circular shape, because it's all about 360 degrees. Okay, 300 and I can't fucking say it, but it's 360 degrees of completion. You know what I'm saying? Coming around to a full circle. But yeah, I don't want to make this too long. Just want to give a brief breakdown on the sun. And with that being said, I just want to leave as I came by saying grand rising. Peace to all the gods and goddesses of planet Ka. Peace to the ancestors, peace to the elderly, peace to my peers, peace to the youth, the crystal baby, star seeds, all the gifted ones, the chosen ones, plant life, animals, all the high vibrational beings who roam amongst us. Send y'all good energy as well. And make sure y'all sun gazing and tapping into that sun since it's the sun video. You feel me? Go ahead and do that. Since you watch this video, go ahead and go out and get some fucking sun. And stop sitting in the goddamn dark all the goddamn time. It's good to be in the dark, but don't stay in the dark. Balance. All right? Love.